Hey guys, I'm Eric. I'm a finance manager at a major tech company, and welcome to the Personal Finance Diaries. Here we talk real money, saving, debt, and smarter financial decisions. Today's topic is personal loans. What options are there besides Credit Karma, and which comparison site is right for you? So if you clicked on this video, chances are you are in the market for a personal loan, and you've probably used Credit Karma before, maybe you haven't, but you're looking for an alternative, you're looking for a way to get the best deal on your personal loan, and you're trying to understand what kind of comparison sites are out there, what are the pros and cons between using one versus another. That's the purpose of this video. I'm gonna break down Credit Karma versus some other alternatives and tell you exactly what might work better for you depending on your situation. So let's get right into it. In the US, more than 1/3 of Americans have a personal loan of some sort. And with so many different lending options, it can be quite overwhelming to get started. So hopefully this video will help inform you on what you can do to get the best deal on a personal loan. What are the pros and cons between using Credit Karma versus something like BestMoney? And that way you can finish this video feeling a little bit more confident next time you are in the market for a personal loan, or if you're currently in the market for one. So starting out with Credit Karma, the number one reason that I anyways started using Credit Karma was because of the credit capabilities, credit score. The ability to actually connect and monitor your credit score is very valuable. And when you're starting out, you really need to have a good credit score. You need to build your credit. That's how you get the best deals in terms of your loans. And so this is a really great place to start. And you can see that as soon as I go on the site, you are kind of prompted right away whether to sign up, to log in. You see they have a bunch of different options in terms of credit cards, or credit cards, loans, home, auto insurance, and money, right? Like kind of breaks down the different options here. But it goes straight into telling you to sign up. And actually, if I were to go here and say I'm looking for personal loans, which is the purpose of this video, it actually goes and asks me to log in right away. So that's one caveat that I already want to point out, that while Credit Karma is really great at connecting to your specific credit score once you've provided all of your information, and then actually monitoring that and then giving you recommendations based off of your credit score, you do have to sign in and you do have to create an account in order to see anything, right? So the first thing that you see once you get through Credit Karma and you actually select personal loans, which is what we were looking for, you'll see that you find a few kind of common uses for personal loans. So it kind of has those different options for you here, whether maybe it could be debt consolidation, home improvement, it kind of provides those things here. And I think if you click on this, it will actually take you to some of the best home improvement loans. You can kind of include how much you are looking to borrow and your credit score. And let's say I click search, it seems it doesn't have anything. So, maybe some of these things are still in the works, but right away you'll see it has kind of three main options for you. You're not really able to slice and dice in the initial page. It did seem like one of these did have the ability to say, hey, like I have this kind of credit score versus this. But here it doesn't have that unless you are signed up or logged in. So again, I think Credit Karma is a really great platform. Once if you already have an account, you created an account, it links to your credit score and it will help track that, and then it'll actually provide you with some options best tailored for your credit score. Besides that, you'll see it has a very long kind of article for you to read and see the pros and cons between different loans. It has a lot of information right here, as well as their methodology for how to pick the best personal loans. One caveat, and one of the reasons that I tell people that they should always look at other comparison sites, is that like all of these comparison sites, they make money by you clicking on a specific lender. So if you go ahead and I click on Upstart, like Upstart will pay Credit Karma a percentage, kind of like a finder's fee, for referring you to this specific lender. What that means is nothing against that, like that's the business model across these types of sites. But what that means is that they will only provide and share who they have a partnership with. You're not going to find them putting everything in the market on their platform. And that's why it could be very beneficial for you to have and check multiple comparison sites. And that way you really get the full breadth of companies that are available for you to get the best deal in your specific loan. So that's one of the things that I always like to caveat. Besides that, I do think Credit Karma is a great app. You can see it has a lot of different options for you. You can, look at different, for example, credit cards. You can look at the personal loans. You have auto. So it really has a lot of options, and it's linked to your credit. And I think that is its biggest competitive advantage that you might not find somewhere else. Now, let's break down a couple of alternatives and why you might want to use one versus another. So NerdWallet, the first thing that I'll mention about NerdWallet is that yes, it does actually provide you with a credit report, a free credit report once you log in. And that is one of the, very similar to Credit Karma in that nature, where it does provide that kind of credit integration, right? Where it actually takes your credit score, it uses that to provide you with some options. And I will say that at first glance, it was not easy for me to find this. I actually had to look for it a little bit, but I was able to find NerdWallet that you are able to get that free credit report once you log in and you sign up. And so that is a really cool advantage of NerdWallet. Besides that, it is a very article-first infrastructure. You'll see here, we're talking about personal loans. I click on personal loans, and it's kind of designed and looks to me like an article, right? You're going in here, and it's actually written by, Jackie, so you can kind of see that it was written. It has that feel and look to its website. First thing that you see, though, once you kind of scroll down a little bit, is the different options that they have for you, whether it's upgrade, happen, right? You can see the APR, which is what you care about. You can see the loan amount, you can see the credit score you need, and then you can see the kind of loan terms that you have, because maybe for you want, call it 8 years. Well, maybe some of these don't work for you because it maxes out at 7. Or maybe you need something like 7, and so universal credit doesn't work for you because they go 3 to 5. So having the ability to see all those things here is very, very cool. You can see it also has best for borrowers with good credit, best for borrowers with bad credit, right? Like it kind of breaks down and organizes the page accordingly to those. You can even click the drop down here and you can see the pros and cons, the time to get funds. I mean, this is really cool and kind of provides you with a lot of value right at first glance. Not only that, but you have some of the AI summaries of kind of the reviews from the borrowers. You can see that NerdWallet also gives it a rating, and it actually breaks down exactly how they rate it, which is really cool. So you can see affordability, you can see their customer experience is not great, for example, the underwriter and eligibility. So they have all this information here. But again, it's a very article-first infrastructure. As you scroll down, you'll see that it continues to be kind of an article. You do have this kind of view, and it's to me, very good UI experience that you can kind of see. The user interface is quite good. It breaks down exactly like what the estimated APR would be for your specific credit. And of course, another big thing that I really like about NerdWallet is that it actually has things like a lot of calculators, which kind of give you the breakdown when ultimately, when you're trying to compare these different loans, you want to be able to see what that means to you in dollar amounts, right? Great, 7.25%, but if you want to compare 7 versus 8, being able to do this and slice and dice how you want is very, very beneficial. You can kind of see the total interest paid, the estimated monthly payment, what that looks like in terms of the total loan payment. So that having that ability is great and super, super cool. And one of the big pros, I would say, of using something like NerdWallet is kind of that calculator infrastructure, the article-based infrastructure. And then, of course, like all these sites, it do have a lot of different options. You have AI integration, which is really cool. You have all these different buckets. And then, of course, as you scroll down, for example, as I'm going down, you can kind of see that a lot of these, if I click on, for example, personal loans, you'll see it has a little calculator here. So you can calculate the monthly payment like you were seeing before. You have the origination fee inclusion. I don't like that it doesn't allow you to change the origination fee. This is very important because it can make or break a loan, right? You might have one lender charging you 2% versus 3%, and that does change the numbers quite a bit. And so being able to see that and slice that could be helpful. Thankfully, nowadays you have things like AI that you could kind of create something similar on Claude with no problem. But having it all in one place is very cool and one of the benefits of NerdWallet. Another thing that I will say, and one could be a negative thing, it depends on you, but when you're first getting into NerdWallet, right, it's not as straightforward that that you're only getting these few options, right? But it's very article based, and to you it might be great that you might like the article base, but to others maybe you don't want to kind of see so many words, right? You just kind of want to compare really quickly what the different options are. And while you do have it here, I do
think that because it's more article look and feel, that might kind of draw some people away from NerdWallet. So let me give you another alternative to this that actually, to me, is the most straightforward out of the platforms that I'm going to be showing you. And actually is one very big pro to it is that you don't need to log in. You don't need to make an account in order to see the numbers. And one thing right away about this is that you're not able to slice and dice based on your specific situation, right? Like, it's very general and broad, 1K to 50K. But I can't say, hey, I need a loan for this and I need it to be for 100K, right? Like, you can't kind of put those numbers in at first glance. So BestMoney, you go on here, and BestMoney actually allows you, he has a bunch of different options for you. One of the cool things is, if you go to personal loans, to one click, right away, you can see I have a bunch of different options all in one place. First things first, you can select the type of loan, like if it's because of some medical expenses, credit card consolidation. You can include how much the loan amount is. You can put your income, you can put your credit score, all in this, and it'll actually give you the best lender or your top pick for your specific situation. To me, that is very beneficial and something that some of the other ones don't have. Like Credit Karma, you have to log in to even see much, right? You get like a few options. NerdWallet, you get a lot of options, but you're not able to kind of quickly slice and dice, and it's more article based. And then, of course,
as I was saying, the really cool thing about BestMoney is that you do have your reviews right up front here. So you can kind of see based off of popularity, brand reputation, features and benefits, kind of all in one place. You have your editorial reviews, so you can kind of get a breakdown on one versus another. You can kind of see it all here in one place. And again, best overall benefit of BestMoney is the ability to slice and dice the information and slice and dice the options that they have, all in kind of a good UI experience in one place for things like personal loans. And then the last one that I wanted to call out, and it's kind of funny because it does happen to be one of the picks for BestMoney. So some of these consolidation sites could almost like send you to another consolidation site, which is kind of interesting, but that is actually LendingTree. So LendingTree actually is one of the oldest platforms out of the four that I'm mentioning today. And it's because it actually came out in like 1996. And they have, what that allows them to have is have a lot of different lenders. They have a big breadth of lenders available to you. So you can see here, it actually says it. They bring together 300 plus lenders into one place. And to me, that is very, very beneficial. You can see you can save, it says $80,000, how much you could save by comparing mortgage offers on LendingTree. So clearly there's a huge advantage to having a lot of lenders available in one place. The negative to LendingTree, besides, and I'll talk a little bit of the good things here, of course, like you have the breadth. It's more of a well-founded company. It's been there for a long time. It's an older company. You have all the different options to you here. In this case, we're talking personal loans, so you can click on personal loans, and right away you can see it starts asking me questions, and eventually it's gonna ask me for my information, right? If I just wanna get a quick understanding of the different loan options, and here you can see it has the calculator, very similar experience as some of the other platforms like NerdWallet, for example. But if I wanna quickly just see the different lending options and different options for me based on my experience, my situation, it's not that straightforward, right? Like I have to log in or I have to like fill in information before I even see anything. And maybe I have to click on a different one. Let's say if I put best personal loans. Okay, here you can start to see it gives you a little bit more information, very article based. And you are able to see kind of SoFi similar to some of the other ones. So you do get the APR here, the user rating. So it does kind of provide that here. You can see the amount that they're willing to loan, the term, the origination fee. So it does give you a lot of information, but you saw it wasn't so quick for me to get to this information. I had to kind of, bounce around. And then here you can kind of see based off of your loan type, you can get those personalized rates. This is where I'm gonna say some of the negatives of LendingTree. So in my personal experience, LendingTree actually has the issue where once you put in your information, you're gonna get a bunch of calls, right? That was my experience. That's been the experience of other people, where you ultimately submit, your information, and now because they have so many lenders at their disposal, all these lenders will start calling you, trying to offer their services to you. Now, really depends on the person. Maybe for you, that's totally fine. For me, I don't like getting a bunch of calls, and it can get kind of annoying. I had the experience where I was getting a call, I answered, I was speaking with them, and before I even finished the first call, I was getting a second call, and then a third call. So to me, that is one of the biggest issues, and actually it can be seen here in some of the consumer affairs reviews. You can see it has a 1.1 out of, with 1,500 reviews. You can see here right away in the cons that it can lead to spam from all these different lenders calling you. And that to me is a big no-no. Like I don't really like that, and that's to me a reason why I wouldn't use LendingTree personally. Maybe for you, maybe you don't really care about getting calls, and in that case, I think that LendingTree could really be good because you have a big breadth of lenders and options for you in that one place. In fairness, they do have better reviews in other places. So Trustpilot, in fairness, they do have better reviews in other places. Like Trustpilot does have them at 4.5 stars with almost 17,000 reviews. So clearly LendingTree is a great establishment, and it's trustable, for sure it's trustable. It just comes with the caveat that you do need to be okay with getting more calls and kind of more people trying to reach out and offer their services or their lending to you, right? So that's just one caveat to keep in mind. So yeah, hopefully this was helpful to you to get a little bit of a better understanding as to one comparison site versus another, where one shines versus maybe another one shines more, right? And kind of that way you can become more of an informed user of these platforms, and you can get the best deal on your loan, because ultimately that's what we're here for. We're trying to get the best experience. We're trying to get the best loan that we can, and we're trying to, move on with our life, get the money that we need in order to pay off maybe whether it's debt consolidation, whether it's to buy that home, whether it's to, add some improvements to your house, all those different kinds of things. We just want to be able to do what we need to do in our life without necessarily spending so much time on this process. And that's why these comparison sites can be very beneficial. It puts it all into one place. You can spend an hour max, kind of comparing all the different ones, and you can save thousands of dollars doing something like this. Thanks for hanging out with me on the Personal Finance Diaries. If you found this useful, don't forget to subscribe. We're all about making smarter money moves. I'll see you next time.